Welcome to Central Happenings Network. I'm your host, Bellagio Sampler. Welcome to the show. How is everybody doing? How is everybody's koofing schedule? I hope you aren't koofing too much. We are going to get right into it today. We have a quick episode about some very interesting information that has been forgotten by most, but few of you have not forgotten. And I just want to thank everyone for being a part of this channel, for putting a thumbs up. Thank my Patreons out there. Thank people that share the videos. This truly is a grassroots channel built by you, the people. The artwork you see on the screen was digitally produced by you, the viewers, specifically a man named Dad Fart. He's a good man. And today's show is brought to you by a few good people that I crowdsourced some info from, specifically Stonar and Memory Hold. And we're going to get into it. Let me pull up the window for you guys to look at what I'm looking at. A picture of a 100% glow-in-the-dark African-American basketball associate of the NBAACP. The best way to put it. A glow-in-the-dark. We're going to get into this story about a man named Francho Bradley. A very interesting individual. We're going to get right into some of the stories, and I'm going to paint you a timeline of events and try to connect the dots on certain things leading to where we are today. Texas Army vet arrested with massive weapons cache. Cache. Always a good word. I like that word. Do you own a cache of toilet paper, or is it a cache of toilet paper? Claims it's for a classified mission, top secret. March 29th, 2018. Okay? It gets spoopy already. 59-year-old Army veteran arrested in Massachusetts hotel with dozens of weapons claims that he assembled his arsenal as part of a classified mission for an unnamed government agency, according to law enforcement. A Texas native. Let me clear my throat. 1 second, I got some good. How many remember this story? Texas native Francho Bradley and partner Adrian Jennings were arrested at the Marriott Residence Inn in Tewksbury, Massachusetts on March 24th with a massive assortment of firearms. This is like my Tarkov stash. An Escape from Tarkov. This is exactly what it looks like. Not in Minecraft, in Tarkov. Texas native Francho Bradley. They were arrested in Marriott Hotel. They claimed they transported a stockpile from Massachusetts. From Texas, they brought it from because he needed them with him for his mission, according to a police report. Cash recovered by local law enforcement included several semi-automatic rifles outfitted with suppressors and bump stocks, an AR-15 variant with a grenade launcher affixed to the bottom, tactical vest that appeared outfitted with military-style smoke and flashbangs, high-capacity magazines, including several affixed each homemade stuff. Weapons removed. Now, here's the interesting part. Why are we talking about this, Bellagio? Check this out. Can you guys read this too? I think so. When pressed by detectives about the stash of guns in his room, Francho responded that he can't tell us what he does. He can't tell us what he does for work or why he has all the guns with him, but that he is down in the area working for a government agency that is dealing with a virus. ... A virus. Francho told police that he served as an EOD tech during his time in the military and currently works as a contractor, Enzyme Engineering, which claims the Department of Energy and Centers for Disease Control as clients. He also made a number of bizarre claims regarding his public service, including a suspicious stint with Los Angeles Police Department. Very interesting, huh? Right out of a movie. Him and his partner here. Looks like something from some spy movie. Spy Kids number 5, based in Compton. Pretty interesting, if you ask me. I remember this memory hold, and it connects the dots. We're gonna go back to Francho, but while we have this here, some of his clients were the Center for Disease Control. Shortly later, we're gonna go back and forth with these stories. Shortly later, in May 22nd, 2018. Remember, the story was March for Mr. Francho. In May, January, February, March, April, May, 2 months later, CDC worker who mysteriously disappears committed suicide, they're saying, medical examiner says. Body of missing CDC doctor found in Atlanta River. The Center of Disease Control employee who went missing and was later found dead in a Georgia river committed suicide. And medical examiner's office said yesterday. Timothy Cunningham, a promising official who aided the CDC in responses to Ebola and Zika outbreaks, seemingly vanished in February. Picked up like Terry Davis. He left work early, went to his Atlanta home, then mysteriously disappeared, leaving behind all of his belongings, including his wallet and cell phone. Interesting, huh? His body was found 2 months later in Chattahoochee River in the northwest area of the city. Officials say he drowned, but it's still unclear how he ended up. And later on, there's stories that people think it was foul play. Parents told investigators that he had mood swings but hadn't been diagnosed with depression. Toxicology report only found marijuana in his system, newspapers said. Several men fishing along the river discovered Cunningham's remains of the riverbank. Isn't this crazy? Rising CDC officials seem to evaporate without a trace. This guy just disappeared. Interesting, huh? But check this out. I think Memory Hold might have sent this. Someone sent this. So what weapons are moved from the hotel room to pressed? It is about the stash. Friends was found that he can't tell us what he does. Yep. Down the work in their government is dealing with a virus. That's what we claimed, that we talked about that. Very interesting stuff. This is the transcript from the police. It's quite big. We could read a little bit about it, about what happened that day when they caught the guy. Give some insights. Couple arrested near Boston for possessing a large quantity of weapons and ammunition. 8 counts of possession of a large capacity firearm, 19 counts of possession of large capacity feeding device. A lot of stuff. So let's see what you guys are saying. Go back to the beginning. We're doing it live, yes. And this is also crowdsourced. I want you guys to continue sending information about this. Were there any other weird instances and scenarios around 2018 about missing CDC people? Any other weird story? This guy was the Black Stephen Paddock, and nothing ever happened, thank God. This is the Black Stephen Paddock. You know, he works in communications. He sells communication devices to the government, just like his brother, Mr. Comp Sushi. CDC hand washing. One of my favorite memory holes of all time. Memory holes thing. Yeah, this is real recent. This connects to the virus stuff now. Missing CDC officials rising in the business that worked on Zika and Ebola and probably way more stuff. This guy with a massive supply of firearms doing a hidden mission for the government, he claims, just like we know Stephen Paddock was doing. They never caught Steve alive for him to give a centric interview, you know? This guy was interviewed by the cops. The cops released the information to the public. Really interesting. Shadow, remember when Terry accidentally live streamed Vegas? Crazy. The night shift crew welcomes Bellagio. Hope you are well. Hey, how you doing? How's everyone? So yeah, this is a very interesting mystery event. The next show we're going to do is going to be this week, midweek, probably, I'm guessing Thursday, Friday, and we're going to do a big call-in show. Probably 2 hours, just take calls, see what you guys are talking about. It'll be very interesting. It'll be the call-in show we all waited for. Sherlock stuff right here, megabyte. Yeah, we're going to go deeper, ready? Sonar is saying a key fact to this is they had a cache right above the March for Life event. Okay, just like Stephen Paddock was above the event, the festival, the music festivals, was the March for Life event these guys were stationed at. You know, what were they going to do for the March for Life event? BossTube, how you doing? Okay, let's continue going. Yeah, call-in show will be Thursday, Friday. Let's see. The other dots I wanted to connect here. Here's some old posts from back in the day. Archive's been heavily wiped with this stuff. It's not even that long ago. Okay, Anons, I'm at my wit's end. I think this guy has lived in a dozen different places, and none of the addresses add up. They overlap with numbers of other names. It looks like he's been married at least 3 times, maybe 4 or 5. Businesses associated with him goes by 5 or 6 names. Can anyone prove he's not a spook? Francho Samuel Bradley, Franco Samuel Bradley, Samuel Francho Bradley, Frank Jennings, Frank Bradley, Bradley Franco, married to Catherine A. Wilkins, Laverne A. Wilkins, Laverne P. Butler, Adriana D. Jennings. Address is still ping in Dallas, Frisco, Dulles, Copel, all Texas, Indianapolis. All I want to know is this where the zombie virus starts? And what does he know about the army of the 12 monkeys? Mugs and guns. You know, we saw that already. Just a FF event. How do you figure that the guy's called the cops on himself? It's a FF, then he's legit. If he's legit, why'd he call the cops on himself? Then no one else posted. Here's another old thread. Zoom in on. Look into this guy. Talks about the Enzyme Engineering Limited, his privately held company in Copel, Texas. Were they planning a March for Our Life massacre? Texan couple's enormous stash of weapons included AR-15s and grenades they found in Boston hotel room, along with parking tickets, which suggest they had been surveilling protest site for days. Big hello. Hotel where the weapons were found. Francho is given parking tickets on 3 different days in the last week in Cambridge here. March for Our Life event, which Stoner was talking about, is right there. 50,000 people were going to be. Pretty crazy. This is the hotel where the couple were arrested, 25 miles away from the protest. Yep, Stoner was very accurate about that detail. Let's read a little bit of the transcript. We zoom in some more on this. This is merely a summary of the events that occurred on March 24th, 2018, while assigned on the Tewksbury Drug Unit. At 3:44 p.m., I was advised by Tewksbury Dispatch that they were on the phone with a 911 caller stating that he believed that his room at the Residence Inn located at yada yada was actively being broken into. The caller, who identified himself as Francho Bradley, stated that he had his hotel room under video surveillance, just like Stephen Paddock did, and he just lost power to the feed. Francho stated that his video surveillance system never cuts out or loses power, and he is concerned because he is on his way to Boston and has a firearm in the room. Dispatcher of Burrell asked Francho if his firearm was locked or in a safe, and Francho responded, "It's not locked up, it's hidden." Francho stated the firearm was hidden in the living room in the bottom drawer dresser and didn't want the gun to get into the wrong hands. So this is some weird, crazy stuff going on right now. This is crazy. Sergeant Columbus, Officer McMahon, Officer Macario, Officer whatever, arrived at Unit 521, knocked on the door while identifying ourselves as police. Hearing no response and fearing that someone may be actively breaking into the hotel room with an unsecured firearm, they made entry via the cleaning service room key. It's like a murder mystery we're reading. Actually, it's like a spy movie. Upon entry, we cleared the hotel room for possible suspects. After clearing the room, we did not locate anyone inside, but we did observe what looked like a green duffel bag with several long guns sticking out of it. The firearms were protruding from the green bag, were located on the floor in the threshold entering the bedroom. The manner in which the firearms were laying on the floor in plain view as we entered, we had to physically step over the bag. I also opened the dresser drawer in the main living room area where Francho stated his firearms was for the purpose of making sure it was not stolen. Upon opening the top drawer, I observed a black revolver that had 6 rounds in the chamber fully loaded. There was no lock, trigger device, or mechanism. Okay. They found ammunition, speed Once we determined no threats were present, Sergeant Columbus called Francho via cell phone and spoke with him. Francho advised Sergeant Columbus that he was concerned someone may have broken into the room due to the video feed on the laptop going. Yeah, he told him. Same story. Okay, I'm just coming through this. He removed each rifle from the flight suit and placed it on the ground. Okay, just describing every gun. More gun cases. Okay, we walked. Once we confirmed the individual was in fact Francho. Okay, let's see. Wait. Once all the firearms were secured, in the interview, we waited for Francho's arrival. He arrived in a white Jeep, pulled into the parking lot, exited. Once they found out it was him, they placed him in handcuffs so that we could ensure they didn't have any weapons on him. There were no firearms located on him during the frisk. Took him to a more secluded area per his request. He was like real shady, like, "Can we go talk somewhere quietly?" Once there, Officer Adams read Francho his Miranda rights from a pre-printed card. Pretty nuts, guy, huh? He asked him, so look, check this out. Asked him if he had any type of identity. He provided his Texas ID number and his license to carry a handgun. It should be noted that Attorney McClellan confirmed with Dallas Fusion Center Detective Webb that the license to carry was currently active in Texas. I asked Francho if he had a Massachusetts license to carry, which he stated he did not. It should be noted also that Francho had an active license to carry a handgun in Texas, but it's not reciprocal in Massachusetts. Okay, he also stated he also had a DOD license, like one of those federal licenses to procure like crazy firearms, like tank rifles, in California, stuff like that. Okay. He also stated that we could take the guns and store them at the police department, but he would have to come get them if he was called for his mission. Francho went on to say that he can't tell us what he does for work or why he has all the guns with him, but he's down in the area working for a government agency that's dealing with a virus. I asked Francho what agency he works for, but he stated he could not tell us, and that if we found out what he was doing, we would have to be writing reports for a long time due to the fact it is classified. Francho came off very odd. It appeared he was trying to hide something, and he was not forthcoming at all. Although Francho was cooperative and provided answers to my questions, he kept advising me that he couldn't tell us why he was here or why he possessed all the firearms, because it was classified. Francho kept telling me that he worked for the LA Police Department. Whoa. But later, that's what I was talking about. But later told me it was only for 5 years. We contacted LAPD, but they told us to call back Monday for confirmation. I asked Francho if he would consent to a search of the room, and he stated he would. It should be noted that the room was rented under Francho's name, yada yada. Crazy, right? Now I want to keep reading about his mission details. Let's take a pause here and read what you guys are saying. Asked him about what appeared to be a grenade launcher. He confirmed the fact did have a grenade launcher. He did not have any grenades. Let's see what you guys are saying. Dogs bark. Little puppers. We have to get him neutered soon. He's 7 months. I feel bad. What are you saying? Lucretia. He also had a DOD permit. Yeah, you said that. I'm reading that. We're locking down Italy. Yeah. No, it's true. I have family in Italy. And it's getting bad. It's coming here to a town near you. Gotta stay home. Oh, and guess what? Pennsylvania just closed every liquor store indefinitely. No, Pennsylvania is not selling alcohol anymore indefinitely. It's crazy. Better stock up on what you need, whatever it is. For at least 2 weeks till the zombie apocalypse is over, right? Let's keep going, though. Mission sell guns. Many as possible? I don't think so. Okay, let's keep reading. Sergeant Ferrum later spoke with Francho to find out which agency he works for and to see if his story made sense. Francho advised Sergeant Farnum that he was a contractor for a company he owned, Enzyme Engineering. Francho did not want to go into detail what the company did. We attempted to find out if Francho had any family that we could speak with to confirm or deny his story, but Francho stated most of his family was deceased or estranged. Francho could not provide any other contact numbers. Based on the fact we located a grenade launcher, there were several tactical style vests. Yeah, they contacted the state police bomb squad. Okay, let's keep. Put him the Miranda rights again. Being placed under arrest. FBI Senior Agent Brackett, Special Agent McGaughan. Francho made many comments during the interview that didn't coincide with reality, such as the fact that when he was on LAPD in 1984, he couldn't provide exact employment dates, but he stated it was sometime during the Olympics. He knew that they were things that were supposed to be kept from the public regarding the O.J. Simpson case that came out. It should be noted that the O.J. Simpson case didn't take place until 1994, several years after he stated he left the LAPD. Francho also stated, was there an Olympics in 94 though? That's the question. I don't know. Okay, let's keep. Several years he left the LAPD. Francho also stated he was a science support oncology. Was a science support oncology, which has to do with cancer. So speaking, wait. Let me read this again. It doesn't make sense. This is official police report, okay? Francho also stated he was a science support oncology, not oncologist, which has to do with cancer. So speaking with Francho in the interview and back at the station, he claimed to have many prominent roles in the Obama campaign, in the German government, working as a plainclothes drug officer in the DST K-44 unit, and single-handedly saved a one-star general who was kidnapped a few years ago. Francho also stated his first wife, who was 60 years old, died of old age. So he was married. Again, if you're just joining us now, this guy, okay, is from 2018, captured in Boston, near Boston, with a massive cache of weapons, and he worked, he says, for an unnamed government agency, and he had all those weapons because he was on a mission, something to do with a virus back then. And then a couple months later, CDC, rising CDC guy that was going to be big in the CDC, goes missing and is found dead. Timothy Cunningham a few months later. And he worked on about different viruses too. We contacted, let me see what you guys are saying. Atlanta in 96 was the Olympics. Okay, so yeah, the story didn't really match up. But in 84, there was an Olympics, but that doesn't match up with the OJ case. Very interesting. This guy's like Stephen Paddock. Just keep reading it. Obama administration, German government. He also stated his first wife, who was 6 years old, died of old age. So he was married to someone who was 20 years younger than him to solve that problem. We contacted the Texas PD where Francho and Adriana live and asked house calls. They advised him Adriana went missing and he was concerned because she was a psych patient and had mental issues. And she took medication. Crazy. And here's a list of all the weapons. Romanian rifle, AK-47, AR-15 with grenade launcher, RC-3 of Federal Arms, all these different shotguns, Springfield 308 rifle, smoke grenades, suppressors, HP laptops, thumb drives, laptop with thumb drives, a lot of computers, a lot of laptops and computers. Holy moly. You never heard about that in the police report, right? I'm sure that whatever agency he worked for came and seized those, right? Okay, now we're going to hear some about Adriana. The first few questions I asked Adriana were her name, where she lived. She had an extreme difficult time recalling what her address number and street name was in Texas, although she stated she lived there going on 2 years. I asked her why she came to Massachusetts and stated her husband of 20 years, based on common law marriage in Texas, was down here for a job interview. Adriani went on to say that Francho was interviewing for an unknown job in the area about a week prior for arrival. She stated that Francho came back to Texas to pick her up, and then the two packed up their stuff and came back to Massachusetts, where they stayed at the Residence Inn. I asked Adriani if they brought how do you say this woman's name? Adrienne. It's not Adrian. Adriani. That's what I'm going to call her. Adriani. I asked her if they brought the firearms up from Texas with them, and she stated that they brought the firearms with them in the Jeep, and Francho drove the vehicle while she was a passenger. Adriani went on to say the firearms were perfectly legal in Texas, and they thought it'd be better to bring the guns with them as opposed to leaving them in an empty house. I asked her to explain the process of transporting the guns from Texas. I don't know, I don't handle the guns, but I know he put them in the car, she said. I asked her if she's ever seen Francho dressed in all the tactical gear that was located in the room, and she stated, well, we wear the gear to the range. For a full statement, see enclosed CD of interview, which I don't have. Based on the above paragraph, read this part, what you guys are saying. These are all their charges. Very weird, huh? Okay, this is the final piece of the puzzle for those listening. Those that want to look into this further and send information to my email or my Twitter. Okay. Mr. Bradley was evasive in his response when we asked why he had all the weaponry, what his current occupation was. He claimed to be a former LAPD officer, former military police officer. He had in his possession a badge which read Concealed Handgun License. The badge also displayed the words Department of Defense, DOD, United States of America. Mr. Bradley alluded to the fact that he works for a secret government agency that he would not divulge details. I contacted the LAPD Police Department in an effort to confirm Bradley once employed by them. I was told I would need to contact their personal department on Monday morning. I also, that's always the excuse, the Monday morning excuse. I also ran Mr. Bradley's name through the current database to try and identify relatives or associates who may be able to shed some light upon the nature of his activities. I located a woman by the name of Catherine Wilkins, one of his wives. Remember we read that on 4chan, the different associates of... Okay, in Chesterfield, Virginia, I called the residence. Was able to speak to a gentleman who identified himself as Catherine's husband, James Wilkins. He said Catherine is currently out of the country in Morocco, spy headquarters, and would not be available till Wednesday, March 28th. I asked James if he's familiar with Mr. Francho Bradley. He told me Mr. Bradley is Catherine's ex-husband. James said he and Catherine have been married for 27 years. They have no contact with Mr. Bradley. I asked James if he's aware of what Mr. Bradley does for a living or if he is aware of any affiliations with any government agencies. James said Mr. Bradley has been telling that story for years. James said no one knows if it's true or not. I thanked James for his time and told him I would likely follow up with Catherine when she returns on Wednesday. ... End of our novel. There's nothing more unless you guys send me some info. And I just think it's weird a couple months later, missing CDC employees, right? Up and coming stars. See what you guys are saying about all this. This is crazy, huh? Pretty deep. And now it's like we're into the whole realm of the viruses here now. The same virus that the Black Stephen Paddock, aka Francho Bradley, was trying to fight. Glow in the darks, yes. On a side note, I went out today looking for some random supplies that I thought nobody would be buying, but the real preppers out there are thinking ahead of me. I was trying to find Everclear, pure alcohol. Sold out at a few liquor stores. I haven't really hunted. I'm gonna hunt tomorrow a little bit harder. If I can't get pure alcohol, probably get some cheap vodka. Not to drink. Good survival. And also I bought some ammunition today. Ammunition is selling out around the country, and some places are restricting you from buying ammunition. And people are scared out there. But in these times, we have to form communities, your local neighbors and neighborhoods, and everyone stays safe. But they didn't have any big boxes of 12-gauge shotgun double-aught buckshot ammo. I had to buy a bunch of little boxes. Hey.
Black Eagle donated $5. You deserve more dollar than Medicare.
Black Eagle, thank you. Thank you. YouTube is going to start banning a lot more channels, they said, and blocking more info, even that doesn't break their guidelines. You can look it up on their Twitter. It's crazy. They keep begging me to monetize. Maybe I'll go through the process again, because some people like to use the YouTube money system. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much, Black. That read pretty good that time. There was no echo. I freaking fixed the echo, and you helped test it. I forgot. Probably 3 weeks ago, I was troubleshooting and trying to fix it. And I want to help Memory Hold fix his computer. Troubleshoot that, but we have to talk. Talk to me on Steam, on Discord, whatever. Let's chat. I'll help you troubleshoot the problem. It could be as simple as one OBS setting. That's why I had an echo on Streamlabs. It was one OBS setting that had to be turned off. Echo fixed. So yeah, I had to buy a bunch of little shotgun boxes. Little shotgun boxes. I didn't go crazy. Just some to defend the house. But there were a lot of people at the gun store, put it that way. Where I live locally, the gun stores are pretty big, like Walmart level. And there were a lot of people, and there are a lot of different demographics. From old to young to a couple hood people. It was real funny how they talk about guns in the hood. It's worse than me calling magazines clips. Question everything. How you doing? Are you thinking time traveler? I don't know. I'm thinking definite glow-in-the-dark spook. Definite glow-in-the-dark possible FF event. And why did he call the cops on himself, huh? But isn't that weird? He didn't want to go through with the mission. So he called the cops on himself.
If you look at society as simply the collective contribution
Long
of
this.
millions of human beings who carry in themselves certain power and influence and
Bill out.
emotion, and every time you turn the switch off of one of those persons.
Okay, let's see. Let's check the restream chat. People over on D Live, thank you for watching on D Live.
Fundamental question of whether
I'm gonna hop over there and maybe
find a way to make itself as rich.
I gotta start giving some love to the different platforms. Do like some Twitch only, live only, video nights of Terry Davis, YouTube multi. YouTube's a good crossroads because not everyone's on D Live. A lot of people are not on Twitch. Bleach is bleach. Well, yeah. I want some alcohol for other reasons. How am I gonna sell my homemade hand sanitizer to the boomers? It's so funny. Yeah, the robot voice is great. Yeah, memory hole. We gotta chat sometime. I want to do a show with you this week. You just give me a night and we'll do an hour or 2 hours. We'll just hang out and chat. Crystal Crypt can hop in. I have to set up a Google Hangout or something. Whoa.
Miller.TV donated $5. Bellagio, get yourself a Glock 19. The Glock 19 is the best handgun for general uses.
I fixed you.
The preferred choice of time-traveling Jews and glow-nibas.
At the end there, it sounded good. It kind of synced up. I fixed you, I thought. See what I mean? I appreciate that $5, Miller. Thank you. That was awesome. Everyone, thank you guys so much. Thank my Patreon still. Like some old, 80s, we're gonna make it music. My dogs are freaking out. Why are the glow-in-the-darks here? My dog Rocky's gonna bite the glow-in-the-darks. Don't come near, glow-in-the-darks. I'll coof. I will coof. Okay, let's read a little bit more into this. See what you guys are saying. They have different concentrations of bleach. Yep. Yeah, learn how to purify water with bleach. A couple drops. You have to look up Francho Bradley, the stories. Relixon, how you doing? Government actors would use his guns for the shooting. Yeah. Who knows where he is now, right? We never know where these people are in prison. They just disappear into the system, get let out the back door. Also, I got the free Call of Duty Battle Royale. It's so funny that even in the new Call of Duty Battle Royale, 150 people per match, but you can only play with two other people total. So 3 people total. You even have to quarantine in the video game. Groups of 3 only. But I love to play that with some of you guys. If you want to play, contact me on Twitter. I'm really bad at the game. Very different than Tarkov. My dogs, what the hell? Yeah, that was super memory hold, guys, these events. And I thought it was interesting today. I woke up and I thought about it, and the guy was fighting a virus. How do you explain that, huh? I can't. Sid Calic, how you doing? Wow, breakout of 1,300 inmates in San Paulo. That's crazy. Sonar's been playing. It's fun. Yeah, dude, I hear on controller, it's like in auto aim. I might have to go back to controller, but I've been having fun with mouse and keyboard. It just feels good, you know? You get that you feel the aim. I don't know. Controller feels good for like Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, Sid Calic, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, brother. And I'm thinking about making a Discord during this quarantine. Get like-minded people in there and chatting. If you are worried about Discord, just don't click any links. Just chat. Yeah, I need a couple of you guys to be moderators. you want to be moderators of the Discord, let me know. Contact me on Twitter. It's good to use it for chatting. We can have like conference calls with it. We can use it for easy conference calls for shows. And we can use it for information gathering. We can have different channels and shit. I need some good mods that know how to use it. I don't know how to use it. Did Calix on lockdown in France? Tell us about the lockdown in France briefly. How can, like, well, you know, what's going on? Are you stuck in your home? Miller Van Dot, thank you again for the $5. The luxury good factories use Chinese labor is interesting. Yeah, the natural pine sol kind, right? Like lockdown's coming here, yeah. Jesus Christ said the best cockpicks are on Discord. Memory Hold will volunteer for Discord. Yeah, let's set up a mixed one, Memory Hold. It could be your audience, my audience. We'll have some different channels and stuff. I've been using Discord more for gaming, and I feel like it could be a useful tool in these times. And I know about the mods and the programming socks and all that, but we'll stay under the radar. Black Eagle got rid of it because we all agreed it was sushi. It is sushi. It is comp sushi. But, you know, we're all going to be stuck in our homes for the next 2 to 4 weeks. It'll be fun to have like some big Discord meetings and stuff. I think they upped the servers so we can have like 50 people meetings and shit. We can have 50 of us in a room just talking shit. Interesting, right? Somebody show that man's message. Blunt, I've resorted to wiping my ass with my hands. I'm out of everything, cloth-wise. Memory Hold CHN Discord crossover. Yeah, let's do that. Let me give you a quick rundown of what's happening corona-wise that I know of. There's probably more happening. Steven Lookner's freaking out. He was pissed off. Yesterday he was like, if you think anyone's gonna blah, 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 blah. Not giving any like alternative, you know? Stoner doesn't Discord ever, period. Another alternative is Steam chat, but then, you know, some people don't have Steam. Xbox chat is good. We have to set up means of communication that are off the grid. What's the grid digitally? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Those that's on the grid. Gab, we can't speak on Gab. But Slack, I don't think we could talk to each other. Can you on Slack? You know, I guess we could expand our Slack if we could talk on it. Jason Burmis, he's in the Alex Jones camp. There's various degrees of what people think is going to happen. Some people open up my window. Some people think it could be complete martial breakdown, complete purge status. You know, I don't know how bad it's gonna. Zoom is the grid. Zoom, yeah. Could we? Yeah, Zoom is good for just talking, but you can't like post stuff. We can't keep like info in it. Discord, we can organize info. I've never used Telegram. I don't know if Telegram is what I'm looking for either. Skype is def the grid. Yeah, I'm talking about something we can all crowdsource information into, organize information in the groups, but also could communicate verbally. Have like conferences, meetings, like the Sons of Liberty. What music is this? What happened to my good music? This was comfy for a minute, but Isidore back up. My outro. We're gonna be leaving soon. Yeah, guys, I don't know. Like, so at this point, my official basis of the virus is it's a real bioweapon. Has it been unleashed? It's definitely not natural. or it's, this is definitely a biblical event for sure. Whether it's man-made or not, natural or not, doesn't matter. It's going to be used. No crisis ever goes to waste. It's going to be used to further the police state worldwide. Restaurants are closing nationwide. Theaters, gathering places of more than 10 people. That means churches are closing. A lot of churches are going to be defiant and stay open. Will the government intervene? Will the government come in and start locking up Christians? This could be the beginning of some very biblical events. Think about that. We're going to do a call-in show. Let me look at the calendar. I'm announcing it now. Today is Monday. Let's do a call-in show Wednesday night, guys. Wednesday night. Are you listening? Wednesday night, I want you to help me spread the word right now. I want you to tweet about it. I want you to make 4chan post about it. Wednesday night at CHN Channel 2, right here where you are right now. A call-in show of the century. We're going to have people call in, tell us about grocery stores, about their prepping, about what they got, everything. One of you told me a very interesting story that I hope you call in and tell us. I'll save it for then. Very interesting story about COVID-19, how close to home it is. And that's pretty much the whole show. So Francho Bradley, very interesting section. We are going to be ending the show here. Got to go cook some dinner. Open up a can of sardines. Man, restaurants are closing soon, guys. Unbelievable. Just takeout and delivery. Oy vey. This is going to devastate small businesses. What about businesses that can't operate closed? Like, at least restaurants can do takeout and delivery, right? That'll help restaurants. But what about, I don't know. Like, there's businesses that are going to be riding the fine line. What if you need to put a new roof on your house? Oh, that water went down the wrong pipe. What if you have to put a new roof on your house, huh? Usually a roofing crew is 3 to 4 people. That seems to be under the regulation, but how, can they drive? Can they leave their homes? I already know a lot of hotels are shutting down completely. Resorts, cruise lines, golf courses, movie theaters. I hope you all have a really good torrenting / Apple store to get movies from. Torrenting / Apple store, right? You understand how to get movies from. Anchovies are better than sardines and the salt. I love anchovies too, man. I'm going to be buying those up tomorrow. I'm going to go buy some anchovies and Deans. Because you might not like them now, but you might like them in the future. Rice, little sushi, little homemade sushi. What about the homeless? A great, compassionate question. Think about Terry Davis. What if he was alive right now, right? It's crazy, guys. I think they're definitely going to use this to test out martial law. Go round up the homeless camps and separate them. Separate the meeting points. Separate us physically. That's why we have to set up digital meeting grounds to communicate. All the frozen pizzas were gone. Wow. So definitely send me your stories. Wednesday evening, we're doing the call-in show. Thank you all for watching. We're going to cut to the music outro. God bless each and every one of you. Read the Bible. Find strength in God. And do not trust the glow-in-the-dark African-American basketball players. Do not trust them. Have a great rest of your evening. God bless.